Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups, and it's time for the weekly pop culture wrap-up. That's right everybody, thanks for checking out the video. I am Rockin Robbie Billups. This is the weekly pop culture wrap-up. It's the show where I go over the week's pop culture news, mostly comic books and movies. Let's get right into it. Some DC Black Label announcements. Joker, Killer Smile by Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino. That's right, the exact same creative team as Gideon Falls. Well, I'm not sure if Dave Stewart's involved. Anyway, Gideon Falls, the creative team. Jeff Lemire as the writer, Andrea Sorrentino is the artist. They are doing a Joker book over at DC Black Label called Killer Smile. It's got a striking cover. It releases in October. Of course it does, because there's a new Joker movie out in October, in case you didn't realize, the one with Joaquin Phoenix, of course. Super excited to check that out. Super excited to check this book out as well. I know I've seen a lot of criticism about DC Black Label, about how it's all just Batman stuff. Batman, Joker, Harley Quinn, right? Let's move on beyond that, right? Well, they're trying to. They're making some new announcements. However, you can give me as many Batman, Joker, Harley Quinn books as you want if it's Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino on it. I am so pumped for that. But what I am even more pumped for is The Question, The Deaths of Vic Sage, which is also written by Jeff Lemire, but it's got artwork by Dennis Cohen with inking by Bill Sienkiewicz. That's the art team from the Denny O'Neil days when The Question was one of the absolute best comic books on shelves. If you've never read that O'Neil, Cohen, Sienkiewicz, if you've never read their Question stuff, you totally have to. It's fantastic. I'm very excited about this. The Question is one of my favorite characters, whether it's Vic Sage or Renee Montoya. Very, very excited. Under DC Black Label, that's interesting. I know that Jeff Lemire said that he was going to not do Big Two work for hire anymore. Well, it seems like they found out how to get him back, right? Hellblazer returns in its mature reader's glory, I should say, right? So there's a one-shot coming out in October. Sandman Universe presents Hellblazer. Then there's going to be an ongoing starting in November, John Constantine Hellblazer #1. And it's actually going to kind of be like a reboot of Hellblazer just a little bit. It's going to be like picking off of threads from Neil Gaiman's books of magic and keep going. I don't know how that's going to tie in with the previous Vertigo run of Hellblazer. This is obviously not going to be a Vertigo book because Vertigo's done, but maybe at this point it will still be Vertigo. Will it be branded Vertigo? Will it be branded DC Black Label? I don't know. But are you excited, like I am, that John Constantine's going back to his Vertigo-esque roots, away from the DC Universe? I never felt like Constantine merged so well into the proper DC Universe line, especially at the New 52 and onward. I like the slight little tie-ins, the connection to Swamp Thing, stuff like that, the connection to Zatanna. I really do like all that stuff, but when he gets put into DC Universe books like Justice League or anything like that, it never has that same feel as the original Vertigo stuff. So I'm very excited for this. It's going to be written by Simon Spurrier. The one-shot's going to be, artwork is going to be Marcio Takara, and the ongoing series is going to have artwork by Aaron Campbell. So be on the lookout for that. Speaking of the Joker in DC and October, Joker Year of the Villains coming out in October. It's a one-shot. Of course, he's going to get the offer from Lex Luthor, but it's written by John Carpenter. That's crazy. Well, it's co-written by John Carpenter. His co-writer is going to be Anthony Birch, and art's going to be by Philip Tan. I had never really super considered myself a fan of Philip Tan until the recent Curse of Brimstone book, which overall was alright, but when he was on that art, that book was fire. No pun intended. Really great stuff there, so I'm excited to see what he's going to bring to the book Joker. Excited to see what John Carpenter is going to bring to that book. I'm a huge Carpenter fan. Of course, he did movies like The Thing, Halloween, all that stuff, so I'm calling this John Carpenter's Joker. Very excited for that. For Marvel in October, we have Fantastic Four Grand Design. What? This is fantastic, and it's done by Tom Scioli. That's right, the artist and writer who recently did the GoBot series, who did the G.I. Joe vs. Transformers series a couple years ago. During the GoBots run on the weekly comic book review, I was saying that this cat's artwork looks like Jack Kirby's like high school notebook, right? Like the doodles by Jack Kirby in high school. I love it. It's very Kirby-esque, very much an homage to that kind of day, but still has its own distinct modern type style. He's doing Fantastic Four Grand Design, just like X-Men Grand Design by Ed Piskor. That was a great book. Really took a whole bunch of threads from the X-Men history and made them one coherent story. They're doing this with the Fantastic Four, and Tom Scioli's doing it. I'm so down, so down. In 2020, The Excellent show up, and it's going to be spinning out of the recent giant-size Ecstatics one-shot. Pete Milligan, Mike Allred revolutionized comics back in the day, had a very fun, boisterous, ridiculous comic book called X-Force, and then into Ecstatics. If you're a fan of Allred's work, like especially Madman, stuff like that, you're going to love it, especially if you're a fan of like the Atomics version. And if you like Pete Milligan, you know, Shade the Changing Man and things like that, you're going to like this book. If you've never read their work on X-Force/Ecstatics, I highly encourage you to do so. Even if you haven't, you can pick up that one-shot. What that one-shot revealed, though, was there's a new series called The Excellent coming out in 2020, and it's out of the blue. I cannot believe that they're doing this, but I am so happy that they are. Also from Marvel, in October, a weekly 5-issue series called Contagion. It's going to be written by Ed Brisson, and it's going to have a whole plethora of artists. It's basically Deceased, but at Marvel, right? So Marvel already did Marvel Zombies, right? They did that, like a whole universe where they all became zombies. And now DC's doing Deceased, which at first seemed like it was DC's version of Marvel Zombies, but then it became its own thing and developed its own identity, mostly because of the writer Tom Taylor doing such a great job with the emotional impact of the story. And now it's like Marvel's trying to get right back into that game and kind of rip off Deceased, even though Deceased might be a rip-off of Marvel Zombies, whatever. It's coming in October, a 5-issue weekly series, so that's appropriate for Halloween. I love that cover with the mole men, the zombie mole men, and the Thing. That's fantastic. From Vault Comics in October, maybe October, I don't know. I don't know of an official release date yet. Cult classic creature feature written by Elliot Ray Hall with artwork by John Bivens. Very excited for this one. Cult classic is a shared universe with like creepy stories, sci-fi stories, things like that, right? And it was originally conceived, and the first book was Return to Whisper. Only a couple issues of that came out. It's returning very soon. They're doing a reprint of 1 and 2. They're going to finish out the series and now set up the next book. And it's going to involve all your favorite B-movie heroes and aliens and all kinds of crazy stuff. Really excited for this one. The artwork is great. As you know, Vault likes to do those homage covers, those Vault vintage covers for issue number 1s. This one is representing and honoring Francisco Francavilla, one of my personal favorite artists of all time. His cover for Afterlife with Archie number 1. I think that is exceptional, fantastic stuff. Speaking of aliens, what about aliens in the Cold War, right? So like the alien craze was really happening at the Cold War era, right? What about a book about the Cold War meets aliens, right? And it's called Strange Skies Over East Berlin. It's from Boom Studios. It releases in October. It's written by Jeff Loveness with artwork by Alessandro Esterin. I'm very excited for this one. Loveness is a pretty decent writer, but what I'm really excited about is that this is just, once again, a great title from a Boom comic book. Seriously. This is amazing. We've had the announcement about Tiny N's book, Something Has Happened to the Children, or Something's Wrong with the Kids, or Something's Wrong with the Children, whatever that is. Can't remember. Strange Skies Over East Berlin. It's a fantastic title. Let's jump over to movies and TV. HBO Max. So HBO Max is going to be the Warner Brothers streaming service. We knew this was coming. We've been talking about the DC Universe app. What's going to be the future there? It's being merged into HBO Max. It's going to have all this HBO programming. It's going to have all this WB programming. It's going to have this DC programming. That's where Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is going to be. That's where Friends is going to go. It's leaving Netflix. Netflix actually made a post about it, being like, it's been so fun with you, our friends. And it's moving over to Warner Brothers service, and that's HBO Max. It's neat that they're using HBO as their brand, because it seems like they know that that's where it is. But this is going to be a whole lot more than just HBO content, so it's going to have that as well. Lots of other content. A lot hasn't been announced, but that comes out in 2020. Be on the lookout for that and the future of the DC Universe app there. Mulan, the trailer, the live-action Mulan remake. Disney's doing all these remakes, live-action or CG animated in the case of the upcoming Lion King. They're doing all these remakes, right? No matter what you think about them, I really like some of them, don't like a lot of them. I thought Aladdin was fantastic and spectacular, right? But most of them are kind of like shot for shot. I hear that's what's going on with the Lion King. Mulan looks like it's something different. Like it's going to be a little bit more action-oriented. No music, no silly characters, nothing like that. Just straight up badass movie. The trailer looks amazing. So I understand you want to hear, I'm going to make a man out of you. You want to hear the song, right? But I'm cool with the way that the movie's looking, to be honest with you. I'm really super cool with that. Paper Girls has been series ordered at Amazon. That's right, the Paper Girls comic book series, written by Brian K. Vaughan, Artwork by Cliff Chang and Matt Wilson. Fantastic book. One of my favorite Brian K. Vaughan books ever. I think it's better than Y. I think it's better than Saga, at least right now. It's recently wrapping up. Really excited for this news. Amazon hasn't just optioned or anything. They have committed to a series order. They are ordering an entire season 1 of Paper Girls on Amazon. I'm really excited for that. And let's talk about Bond 25, because you know we're Bond fans here. We like to talk about it, right? Christoph Waltz reprising the role of Blofeld in this movie, and my comment is he better, because if that's all the Blofeld we get, so there's got to be more, right? Blofeld is straight up James Bond's #1 archenemy, and I am very excited. Christoph Waltz, a great actor. I think he could do a great job as Blofeld. I just didn't like it so much in the previous film. Thought it was a little silly, so I'd like to see him get another shot to really make that character something menacing, threatening, and because in the previous Bond films, it was always a different actor pretty much playing Blofeld, I never really felt a consistency to that character, a threat to that character, right? He was more threatening when he's just looming there on the horizon. We don't really know much about him. Christoph Waltz is the actor that's got those kind of acting chops that can really bring a lot to this role. I hope in Bond 25 they allow that to happen. Now, of course, Danny Boyle has dropped out of that movie. It's a big franchise. Things were just not his thing. And I applaud that. I understand that. So don't give us a bad Bond film, please, and give us a really good villain. It could be cool to see the best Blofeld ever. Because previously, to me, the best Blofeld ever is... I'm going to go Donald Pleasance. Especially because of the way he delivers the creepy-ass line, "You only live twice." Anyway, that's what we got for you this week. What we got coming up for you here at PCP Tonight, the live stream, 7 o'clock U.S. Central Time. I'll try to give out some notifications on my Twitter page at the Rockin Robbie. Over at the PCP Army on Facebook, that's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. Get on there if you haven't already. It's fun. You get to chat with me and Justin and Jelani and all these other members of the PCP crew and our friends and our fans and our family and our followers and other F words, things like that, right? Including... Anyway, so that's what we got going on tonight. Tomorrow morning, our long-awaited Mortal Kombat movie review. The Mortal Kombat 1995 movie won the most recent audience choice pick over at the PCP Army. So the movie review for that goes live tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Of course, my time. That's U.S. Central Time. Of course, the weekly comic book review late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. And right now, I got a couple of advanced reviews on the channel. You need to check them out. Got some good books that are coming out in August and September that you need to get in on right now. Going to the Chapel, written by Spencer and Locke's David Pepose, and talking about Mountain Head. Mountain Head's by John Lees, Ryan Lee, Sean Lee, Doug Garbark, and a whole bunch of... It's just a fantastic book. Both of them are great books. I highly encourage you to check out my advanced review. So that's what we got for you. What do you got for us? What are your comments? Let us know in the comments down below, or wait and talk to us tonight at the live stream, Robbie Rants Live, tonight, 7 o'clock U.S. Central Time. We really do appreciate everything, your support, all that jazz. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and join us over at popculturephilosophers.com for podcasts and a whole lot more. I've been Rockin Robbie Billups. Thanks for rocking with us. Keep on living.